Welcome back, guys. In the last lecture, we have discussed about the project structure of React. In any React project, we have 3 folders and 4 files. Now, in this video, we are going to discuss the debugging of React application. Here, I have already executed this Hello World project. I will copy the localhost 3000 link and I will paste it in the Google Chrome URL. This is the localhost 3000. You can see here we have only one h1 text in the app.js component. In that we have written hello world. I will open the app.js component. Here you can see this is the app.js component. In the h1 text I have written hello world. Now I will change the text from hello world to debugging of React application. React application. Control S. Now let's see. Here you can see the title is changed from Hello World to Debugging of React Application. First we will discuss what is debugging. Debugging is the process of identifying and removing the errors from the application. So to identify the errors, first we have to know the process of execution in React application. Means out of these 3 folders and 4 files, which file will execute first whenever you run the npm start command. Now we will see it. First click on the source folder to expand it. Here the app.js is the component and the index.js is the one and only script file in the entire React application, and in the public folder we have one HTML file. This is the only HTML page in the React application. Now we will see which file will execute whenever you run the npm start command. When you run the npm start command, first the compiler will check the index.html file. Here you can see in the public folder we have the index.html file. In that index.html file, the compiler will identify the ID of the div. Here you can see in the entire index.html file, we have only one div with the attribute ID and the value is equal to root. We have only one div with the attribute ID and the value is equal to root. After checking this div ID, then the compiler will move to index.js file which is present in the src folder, means source folder. In the source folder, we have to open the index.js file. Here you can see this is the index.js file. In the index.js file, we have to render the app.js component in the div. Here you can see we have rendered the app.js component. This is app component and we have placed the app component in the div which is called as root. If you open the index.html file, in the index.html file, we have one div with the attribute ID is equal to root. And we are placing the app.js component in the div using the index.js file. This is the index.js file. With the help of this index.js file, we have to place this app.js component in the div which is present in the index.html file. This index.js and index.html is the one and only HTML page and one and only script file in the entire React applications. That's why we need not to make any changes in these 2 files. We should remain these 2 files as it is. If you make any changes in these 2 files, it will raise the errors. Suppose here I am deleting this root keyword. Here I am removing the t from root. I am pressing Ctrl S. Now we will see whether it is raising errors or not. Here you can see we got the error. That's why we should not make any changes in these 2 files. I am replacing the root as it is. Ctrl S. Now we will see the output. Here you can see there is no error. If you change anything in the index.html also, it will raise the errors. Here also I am removing the root. I am pressing Ctrl S. Now let's see the output. Again it's raising error. That's why we should not make any changes. I'll write root. After checking these both index.html page and index.js file, the compiler will identify the root component. With the help of this root component, the compiler will goes to the app.js component. This is the default component which we need not to create it. It will come by the default whenever you create a new React application. So when you create a new React application, you should start making changes from this app.component only. You should not touch this index.html component, not component, it is a file, and this index.js file. You should start making changes from only this app.js component only. we should not touch index.html as well as index.js. We should remain that both files as it is. Thank you.